In the last class, we have seen Unit 2 Prose, I Can't Climb Trees Anymore, written by Ruskin Bond. Before we start the lesson, let's have a short recap of the lesson. A middle-aged man visited his grandparents' ancestral house where he had lived in his boyhood. They sold the house and went away. A 12-year little girl of the present owner welcomed him. They both sat under a mango tree and had a conversation, and the narrator started to recollect his past memories and share with the little girl. He said that the jackfruit tree was his favorite place. With this, we have stopped the lesson in the last session. Now, let's see the remaining part of the lesson. Middle-aged man on the flying trapeze, he muttered to himself, "I will help you," she said, and gave him her hand. He slithered down into a flower bed, shattering the stem of a hollyhock. Here, trapeze means a horizontal bar hanging by two ropes and free to swing, used by acrobats in a circus. Muttered means to utter words in a low tone. Slithered means slide or slip unsteadily on a loose or slippery surface. While resting on the wall, he muttered to himself, "Middle-aged man on the flying trapeze." Here, muttered is nothing but talking in a lower voice. Middle-aged man on the flying trapeze. Here, flying trapeze means it is a circus act on which people swing from one end of the rope to the other end of the rope, imagining himself as a circus act. It was like a circus act. So what is meant by trapeze? Trapeze is a horizontal bar hanging by two ropes and free to swing, used by acrobats in a circus. Here we can see the pictures of flying trapeze. She gave her hand and said she would help him climb the wall. He slithered into the flower bed. Here, slithered means slip unsteadily on a loose or slippery surface, upsetting one of the stems of hollyhock. Let me read the next paragraph. As they walked across the grass, he spotted a stone bench under a mango tree. It was the bench on which his grandmother used to sit when she was tired of pruning rose bushes and bougainvillea. "Let's just sit here," he said. "I don't want to go inside." She sat beside him on the bench. Here, pruning means the act of trimming a plant. Bougainvillea means an ornamental shrubby climbing plant that is widely cultivated in tropics. As the man was walking on that grass, he saw a stone bench under a mango tree. It was the same bench where his grandmother used to rest when tired of trimming roses and bougainvillea. He just wanted to sit there for a while and will get inside the house later. Then the girl sat beside the man on the bench. Bougainvillea means an ornamental shrubby climbing plant that is widely cultivated in tropics. Here we can see the picture of bougainvillea. So what is meant by pruning? Pruning means the act of trimming a plant. Here we can see the picture of pruning. Let me read the next paragraph. They were silent for some time. The man closed his eyes and remembered other times, the music of a piano, the chiming of a grandfather clock, the constant twitter of budgericas on the veranda, his grandfather cranking up the old car. Here, chiming means making melodious ringing sounds, typically to indicate the time. Budgericas means a small Australian bird of the parrot family, often kept in a cage as a pet. Cranking means start or get going. They both were silent for some time. The man closed his eyes and was trying to recollect whatever happened in those days, like the music of piano playing, the grandfather's clock which made a music or sound to indicate the time. In other words, the chiming of his grandfather's clock. Here, chiming is melodious ringing sound. Then the constant twitter of budgericas on the veranda. Here, budgericas means a small Australian bird of the parrot family. Then his grandfather cranking up the old car. Here, cranking means starting sound of the old car. Let me read the next paragraph. I used to climb the jackfruit tree, he said, opening his eyes. Do you want to climb it again? My parents won't mind. No, not after climbing the garden wall. Let's just sit here for a few minutes and talk. I mentioned the jackfruit tree because it was my favorite place. Do you see that thick branch stretching out over the roof? Halfway along it, there is a small hollow in which I used to keep some of my treasures. What kind of treasures? Slowly he opened his eyes and said to the girl that he used to climb the jackfruit tree. She asked if he wants to climb the tree again. She said that her parents would not feel bad about it. He was not interested in climbing. He said that after climbing the wall of the garden, he wants to sit there for some time and talk. He mentioned the jackfruit tree because it was his favorite place. He showed the tree and asked if the girl could see the thick branch which was stretching over the roof. Halfway along that branch there was a small hollow wherein he used to keep his treasures in it. The girl asked what kind of treasures he used to store there. Let me read the next paragraph. Oh, nothing very valuable. Marbles I had won, a book I wasn't supposed to read, a few old coins I had collected. Things came and went. I was a bit of a crow, you know, collecting bright things and putting them away. There was my grandfather's iron cross. Well, not my grandfather's exactly, because he was British, and the iron cross was a German decoration awarded for bravery during the war, the First World War. When my grandfather fought in France, he got it from a German soldier. The man said that he did not keep anything important. He just kept some marbles which he won. Then the book he was not supposed to read was hidden there. Also a few old coins which he collected, things whichever he liked. He said he was like a crow, collecting all bright objects and storing them here in the hollow. He said that he had his grandfather's iron cross which was not his grandfather's exactly. His grandfather was British, and in those days, Iron Cross was given to only Germans as an award of bravery during the First World War. When his grandfather fought in France, he got it from a German soldier. Let's have some informations about Iron Cross. The Iron Cross is a former military decoration in the Kingdom of Prussia and later in the German Empire from 1871 to 1918 and Nazi Germany from 1933 to 1945. It was awarded during the Franco-Prussian War, World War I and World War II. The Iron Cross awarded during World War II as a swastika in the center. The Iron Cross was normally a military decoration only, though there were instances it was being awarded to civilians for performing military functions. Like the Iron Cross, in our country, we gave the highest gallantry award to the soldiers. Let's see what is it. That is the Paramveer Chakra. The Paramveer Chakra is the highest wartime gallantry award. Here, gallantry means bravery. So, the Paramveer Chakra is the highest wartime gallantry award given to soldiers of the Indian Armed Forces for the display of utmost courage and complete selflessness when facing the enemy. Since its inception, here, since its inception means that's origin in 1950, 21 fearless heroes, 14 posthumous have been awarded the medal till January 2018. Here, posthumous means after death. 14 of them have been awarded after their death till January 2018. Do you still have it? No, he said, looking her in the eyes. I left it in the jackfruit tree. You left it in the tree? Yes, I was so excited at the time, packing and saying goodbye to people and thinking about the ship I was going to sail on that. I simply forgot all about it. The girl asked if he still has it. He looked into her eyes and said that he kept that in the hollow of the jackfruit tree, so he doesn't have it. She asked in astonishment if he left it in that tree. He answered that it might be still there, as when he had to leave the place, the man had been very excited to sail on the ship, packing for the journey and saying goodbye to everyone. The man had merely forgotten whatever he had stored in the hollow of the jackfruit tree. She quietly said, "It may still be there, in the hollow part of the branch." Yes, he said, "It's 25 years, but it may still be there unless someone else found it. Would you like to go and look? I can't climb trees anymore." "If you can't, I will go and see. You just sit here and wait for me." She quietly said, "It might be there in the hollow part of the branch." Yes, he said, "It has been 25 years and it should be still there unless and until someone else has taken it away." She asked if he would like to go and have a look at the hollow of the tree, and then he said he can't climb trees anymore. The girl got so excited that she said if he can't climb the tree, he can sit there and wait, and she will climb up to see. I have found it, she cried. I have found something. And now, barefoot, she ran breathlessly towards him, in her outstretched hand a rusty old medal. He took it from her and turned it over on his palm. Is it the iron cross? She asked eagerly. Yes, he said. This is it. Then the girl climbed the tree and found something. She was very excited. She shouted out that she had found something. She did not wear her slippers. She just ran barefoot towards the man and showed him a rusty old medal. Then the man took the medal in his hand and saw it over and over again. The girl asked if this was the iron cross that he had sighted. The man said, Yes, this is the one. Now I know why you came. You wanted to see if it was still in the tree. You may be right. I am not really sure why I came, but you can keep the cross. You found it after all. No, you keep it. It's yours. The girl said childishly, Now I understand why you have come. You just wanted to see if the cross was still there in the tree. The man said that he was not sure why he has come, but she can keep the cross as she had found it. She said that he could keep the cross as it was his, but it could have remained in the tree for another 25 years if you hadn't climbed up to look for it. But if you hadn't come back again on the right day, at the right time, and with the right person, he said, getting up and placing the medal in her hands, it wasn't the cross I came for, it was my youth. He said that it would have been left in that place for another 25 years if it was not for her to see in that tree. But what if he would not have come back to see the house on the right day, at the right time, with the right person he was enjoying with that little girl? He gave the medal to her and said that he did not came for that, only to remind himself of his youth. She didn't understand that, but she walked with him to the gate and waited. Where the road turned, he looked back and waved to her. Then he quickened his steps and moved briskly towards the bus stop. There was sprightliness in his step, and something cried aloud in his heart. Here, sprightliness means lively and full of energy. She did not understand that, as she was too young and couldn't relate to it. She just walked along with the man till the gate. Until the road turned, he waved her goodbye. He went faster towards the bus stop. There was something more. The man was more active now. The mango-scented summer breeze made the blood course in his veins, and he forgot for a moment that he couldn't climb trees anymore. So, the air was smelling of mango tree, and he felt more happy and energetic. For a moment, he forgot that he could not climb trees anymore. Let's see the summary part. She said she would help him on the flying trapeze. She gave him her hand. He slipped down into a flower bed, breaking the stem of a hollyhock. Across the grass, he spotted a stone bench under a mango tree. It was the bench where his grandmother sat trimming rose bushes and bougainvillea. He wanted to sit outside. She sat with him on the bench. They were silent, and the man closed his eyes and remembered the music of a piano, the chimming of a grandfather clock, the noise of the birds on the veranda, and his grandfather repairing the old car. He remembered climbing the jackfruit tree. She said her parents wouldn't mind him climbing the tree. He only wanted to sit and talk for a few minutes. His favorite place was the jackfruit tree. He said he used to keep his treasures in the hollow of the tree. Treasures were only marbles he had won, a book he wasn't supposed to read, old coins, grandfather's iron cross awarded for bravery during the First World War in France. He got it from a German soldier. She asked whether he had the iron cross. He didn't. He had left it in the jackfruit tree. Being very excited at that time and bidding goodbye before sailing in the ship, he forgot all about it, thinking it might still be there in the hollow of the tree. He said, unless someone else found it. Since 25 years had passed, he said he can't climb trees anymore to have a look, and she said she would. She found it and ran towards him with a rusty old medal in her hand. He made sure that it was the same iron cross. She asked him whether he had come to find it. He said he wasn't sure and asked her to have it as she found it, and that it would have even been there for another 25 years. He placed the medal in her hands and said that he had come for his youth and not for the iron cross. As he walked away to the bus stop, he remembered his youth, and the air filled with the smell of the sweet mango and the summer breeze made his blood rush in his veins, forgetting the feel that he was so old that he couldn't climb trees anymore. Finally, let's see summary of the entire story. A man came back to his old house, which is now owned by a colonel. The man was to see the old jackfruit tree still standing beside the house. There he met Colonel's little daughter. He shared some of his childhood memories with her. He said that he used to keep some of his treasures like marbles, coins, and his grandfather's iron cross in the hollow of jackfruit tree, but he was not able to climb the tree. The little girl climbed and turned the iron cross on the man's hands. He gifted it to her and walked away with tears in his eyes. I have enclosed the classwork instructions in the PDF. Kindly refer it. So now we have reached the end of this session. Thank you.